How many pictures of Carlo?
We are gathered here today not to despair, but to reflect, remember, and rejoice on the journey that was period board AP Stats. When we all walked through that door on August 13th, we didn't know what a p-value was, or what stocks stood for, or how to find a z-score. We all chose this path, but we didn't know where it would lead. To try to predict where we are today would be an extrapolation, and stats would never allow that. Yet here we are, forever, because stats may have passed physically, but its eternal presence lives with us. Stats is everywhere. Stats is everything. We must remember that, and keep our heads held high as we celebrate this blessing in our lives. I know there are a few people here today who would like to say a few words. Jason, would you like to start us
off? I'm sorry. Where do I begin? God, I just knew all this would happen. The odds that he would pass like this, the signs were all there. 95% of all stats classes that make it this far come to their ends in May. I don't know what it is. I guess I should have expected it more. The conditions had all been met. Random assortment of students, check. Normal performance of students in class, check. Students in class compose less than 10% of all students taking the AP Stats class, check. But no, our normality condition was wrong. There weren't 30 people in this class, so we should have known from the beginning. But we still should have proceeded with caution, just to be safe. Always proceed with caution. That's what Graham told us. We just didn't listen. Didn't think we had to. And now look where we are. I know, deep in my heart, I should have been there in his final moments. I was with him his entire life, but of course that was just when he was in good health. I'll never forgive myself for not being there when he really needed me. I could have been there during that AP exam. I should have been there. That was his last happy moment with us, and I skipped out on it. I wanted to do my own thing. I just didn't think he needed me. But as it turns out, I needed him more than he'll ever be able to realize. That is my biggest regret in life.
Preach.
I mean, sure, things were becoming more difficult, but I really thought he could handle it. He was struggling with regression lines and chi-square tests, but I still wasn't there. I guess I had a feeling he would have some difficulties, but I didn't think I needed to be there for him because I made it through on my own. Selfish, that's all that is. I truly thought his data would be significantly different from the mean. Maybe he would be in that 2.5%, assuming the 0.05 alpha level, that would live past that second standard deviation. But it just wasn't enough to be able to reject the null hypothesis that there was no significant difference between his life and the life of every other stats class. I give you my calculator. I know how large of a factor that always was in your life. You really meant a lot to all of us. Oh, he was so young! Why does the good always have to die young? It wasn't his time! It should have been me! Why wasn't it me? All I wanted was one last t-test. That was always your favorite. Hell, we could have done a survey. Anything that could have kept you here. Probability. Venn diagrams. Just roll the dice again, God. Give him another chance. Repetition is key to any good test.
Sorry, I didn't know the script.
I know we all feel the same magnitude of pain Jason has expressed. Would anyone else like to share any of the memories they have of stats?
After that emotional speech, I want to remember the good times we all had with stats. To properly represent his life, a bell curve illustrates the prime of his life. At first he started out slowly as he was just learning to interpret data. Our time together was quantitative. 60 minutes, 40 minutes. But now as I look back, our time became more than that. The value of what we shared cannot be measured and is now considered qualitative.
It's okay.
The value of what we shared, Phyllis. As his life grew closer and closer to the center of things were going great. 68% of his life he was really centered, only one standard deviation away from his life goals at most. Here we learned so much from him. The joy of combining means really brought us all together. Taking probabilities, sadly forgot to determine the probability that this class would end. Unfortunately, as he grew more variable, things got worse. More and more errors were being made. We stayed in fairy tale land with null hypotheses. We should have known to reject the null that this class would never end, but we failed to. It made a devastating type 2 error. Our alpha level was just too high. When it comes to life and death, you can never be too careful. 0.05 is too high. His life was way more statistically significant than that.
Thank you for that, Maggie. That was truly beautiful. I know wherever Stats is, he's smiling down at all of us right now. Now I would like to please ask everyone to please join hands as we end our service in a prayer.
Stars needs more. Those who die still live in statistics. Their shape unchanged by any transformation, even though their center may have shifted. I pray and hope for my family, relatives, and friends to never forget to check their conditions and proceed with caution, to keep their tests accurate and reliable. In company with Period 1, who died and now lives, may they rejoice in Statsland, where all our tears are wiped away by knowing their lives have p-values well under any alpha level. Unite us together again in one Stats family, to keep our results unbiased and our samples random. And together we say, Amen.
Amen.
If you'd like to come up and pay your respects, you may do that at this time.